He laughed at small steps, and then he missed the big journey. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there lived a young man named Ali. Ali dreamed of traveling the world. He longed to see the Eiffel Tower sparkling under the Paris night sky, to taste authentic Italian pizza, and to feel the warm sand between his toes on the beaches of Rio de Janeiro. The world was Ali's oyster, or so he thought. But here's the thing about Ali. He never started. Every day, Ali would sit by his window, gazing at the world outside. He'd watch the birds soaring through the sky, the clouds drifting aimlessly, and the leaves dancing in the wind. And he yearned to be like them, free and unbound, exploring the world without a care in the world. But Ali was stuck in his room, stuck in his small town, and stuck in his comfort zone. One day, Ali's friend Omar came over to visit. Omar had traveled all over the world. His stories were as captivating as the finest adventure novel. He spoke of snow-capped mountains and vast deserts, bustling cities and tranquil villages. As Omar shared his tales, a fire ignited within Ali, a longing to break free from his mundane existence and embark on his own grand adventure. "You're wasting your life away," Omar said to Ali, noticing his friend's dreamy gaze and wistful expression. "Stop daydreaming and go explore the world." Ali nodded vigorously, his eyes shining with determination. "You're right, Omar. I won't waste any more time. Tomorrow I'll start planning my world tour. See the Eiffel Tower, taste the pizza in Italy, and relax on the beaches of Brazil." Omar smiled, knowing that Ali was too comfortable to ever take action. The next day came, and with it, the promise of adventure. Oh! But as the morning wore on, Ali was still sitting by his window. He told himself tomorrow is not a good time to start. "I need to get my passport, book flights, and pack my bags. Starting tomorrow." Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months, and Ali still hadn't taken a single step towards his dream. One evening, while flipping through a travel magazine, Ali stumbled upon an advertisement for a solo backpacking trip across Europe. The trip was being organized by none other than Omar, his adventurous friend. The itinerary included visits to iconic European destinations such as the Eiffel Tower, the Colosseum, and the Sagrada Familia. It also promised opportunities to meet new people, experience different cultures, and create unforgettable memories. Overcome with excitement, Ali quickly signed up for the trip. Finally, he would get to see the world and check off the destinations he'd been dreaming of for so long. The day of the trip arrived, and Ali found himself standing at the airport, backpack slung over his shoulder and a heart full of anticipation. As he watched the airplane taking off, a sense of pride and accomplishment washed over him. "I'm doing it," he thought to himself. "I'm finally seeing the world." But as the plane soared through the clouds, Ali's excitement began to fade. A gnawing feeling of uneasiness took its place. Ali couldn't shake off this strange sensation. He tried to dismiss it, telling himself it was just pre-trip jitters. But as the days passed, the feeling only intensified. When they reached Paris, Ali was supposed to be in awe of the Eiffel Tower, but all he could think about was how cold and rainy the city was. In Rome, instead of marveling at the Colosseum, he was preoccupied with how crowded and chaotic the city was. Even in Barcelona, where the weather was sunny and the people were warm, Ali couldn't fully immerse himself in the experience. It became clear to Ali that he was enjoying his trip because he hadn't started his journey with enthusiasm. He'd signed up for the tour to escape his ordinary life, but he hadn't let go of the comfort he'd left behind. Ali realized that he was trying to have an extraordinary adventure without embracing the little adventures that life offered daily. On the last day of the tour, as Ali sat on a park bench watching children play, a group of street musicians approached and began playing lively music. Their melodies were cheerful, and their harmonies were infectious. And for the first time in weeks, a smile touched Ali's lips. He found himself tapping his feet to the rhythm and even hummed along to the tune. In that moment, Ali understood that the joy he'd been seeking wasn't in the destination, but in the journey itself. He had allowed fear, doubt, and comfort to hold him back for so long that he had never even begun his adventure. As the musicians finished their song and the crowd dispersed, Ali felt a renewed sense of purpose. He got up from the bench, dusted off his clothes, and started walking towards the city center. This time, instead of following the tour group, Ali went in a different direction. He didn't know where he was going, but he didn't need a plan anymore. All he needed was a willingness to explore. He walked past quaint cafes, charming boutiques, and historic landmarks, taking in the sights, sounds, and smells of the city. He stopped to buy a sweet pastry from a local bakery, savoring every bite as he strolled through the park. Lee was no longer a tourist trying to check off destinations on a list. He was a traveler open to the unexpected, ready to embrace the beauty of the present moment. That day, Ali discovered that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with just one step. He may have laughed at the small steps before, but now he understood that progress starts with small actions. He may have missed the big journey, but he was determined to make the most of the small ones that lay ahead. From that day on, Ali's perspective shifted. He realized that the world wasn't just out there to be explored, it was within him waiting to be discovered. He began to find adventure in the everyday, beauty in the ordinary, and magic in the unknown. Ali's story serves as a reminder that sometimes we spend so much time planning and postponing that we end up missing out on the very thing we are pursuing. It encourages us to appreciate the journey, to find joy in the present moment, and to recognize that progress often begins with small, seemingly insignificant steps. It's a call to action, a nudge to remind us that the world is full of possibilities, and that the first step is often the hardest, but also the most rewarding. If you enjoyed this story, give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe for more insightful tales and click the bell icon to receive notifications of our latest uploads. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep living, keep learning, and keep growing. Now let's move on to the part where we talk about the moral of the story. What do we learn from Ali's journey? Well, the moral of this story is that progress often begins with small steps. Ali spent years dreaming about traveling the world, but he kept putting it off. He thought that he needed everything to be perfect before he could start, but in reality, he was just making excuses. He didn't actually want to go. When Ali finally did decide to travel, he tried to do it in the easiest way possible. He joined a tour group so that someone else would take care of all the details. But this ended up being a mistake because Ali was too comfortable. He didn't have to plan anything, so he didn't really feel like he was in control of his trip. He was just going along with the flow. It wasn't until Ali got lost in a new city that he really started to enjoy his trip. When he stopped trying to follow his itinerary and started exploring on his own, Ali discovered that the journey is just as important as the destination. He learned that it's not about checking off all the places you want to visit, but about experiencing all the little moments in between. So what's the lesson here? Well, it's that you don't have to wait for everything to be perfect before you start. You don't have to have all the answers before you take action. Sometimes you just have to take a leap of faith and trust that everything will work out. Sure, you might miss a few steps along the way, but that's okay. Just keep moving forward and don't give up. Because when you do, you might just surprise yourself with what you're capable of achieving. Have you ever laughed at the small steps you needed to take before? Have you ever put off something that you really wanted to do? If so, I'd love to hear about your experience in the comments below. Your stories could help inspire others to take that leap of faith and pursue their dreams. Thank you for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed the story and the message it conveys. Please do and forget to hit the like button if you liked this video and share it with your friends and family. If you haven't already, please subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss out on any of our future uploads. Once again, thanks for watching. We wish you all the best and look forward to seeing you in our next video.